So if we start getting down below that 19.5, then that's when we're deciding if this is going to be an oxygen deficient environment. One of the things you got to think about is what's making the oxygen leave, okay? There's going to be another player in the room. So we always have to be really, really concerned with what's going on. This is where we get into our NIOS. This is where we get into the chemical, physical properties of things, okay? When we start progressing down more, and we've already talked about that, what was the signs and symptoms of that? Does anybody remember? Confusion, right? Maybe a little bit of euphoria. Are we gonna know that it's dropping? Like, am I gonna be able to walk into something and go, oh, I feel like it's like 17 right now. I'm kind of getting close to 12. What do you think, Jaeger? Do you think you're gonna get like that? No, we're just gonna go down, all right? We're not gonna realize it. So you have to be very, very conscious, and you have to trust your meter to realize when we start getting into that oxygen deficient environment. When we start getting into oxygen enriched, what's the oxygen enriched number?
23.5.
That was in your web-based training, correct? Yeah. Oxygen enriched environment, 23.5. Why is that a big concern to us? Morris, why do you think it's a big deal?
It's an oxidizer.
There we go. What will it do? If I'm in an oxygen enriched environment, what will happen?
All your thresholds, your lower and upper limits, they all change.
Right, our limits change, but on top of that, can we make a situation worse by it being a more oxygen-rich environment? Will the fire get hotter? Will it burn more intense? Are we at a higher rate of concern to where we may get hurt? Yeah, absolutely. So that's the big thing, is there has to be a reason for that oxygen to kick up, okay? It's just not like all of a sudden we're gonna walk in a room and we have an oxygen-enriched atmosphere and then it just happens, okay? That's not the case. There has to be a reason for that. So that's where we have to use our hazmat in the fact, science, and circumstances that we have to figure all this out. It's just like putting a puzzle together, okay? It's just we're getting a piece here and a piece here and a piece here, and now we're gonna give you the tools in your toolbox to put all those pieces together and complete the puzzle so you can figure out what's going on.
What's that placard look like for an oxidizer in industry?
Guys are sharing on fire.
Yeah, a little round ball, it's yellow, and looks like a guy's head's on fire.
If you guys are ever wondering what the placards look like, what do you have on your rig? ERG. Where's the ERG stay on the rig? Probably up front, glove box. It's an orange book that may look yellow because the sun has bleached it out. You pull that out, you start looking at the front cover, the front first, let's say 10 pages, and it'll actually have those pictograms, okay? So you can see. So now the next time you wonder what color a placard is for an oxidizer, you can see. When we start talking about oxygen deficient atmospheres, hey, the fire department, we're the best in the world, man, for taking care of that. If we're ever wondering about if something's in an oxygen deficient atmosphere, and what do we have to combat that? SCBA? Right. If I'm in an oxygen deficient atmosphere, I can use an SCBA. Sometimes in the confined space world though, we're not able to use SCBAs because we can't keep them on our back and fit inside these small spaces. So we have things called supply air. All right, so our supplied air is going to be a long hose that's going to connect to our face piece. We'll also have a little small escape bottle. Okay, so it'll be a little valve body. Actually, the hose will plug into that from the escape bottle. You'll have another hose that comes off a low pressure hose that'll actually stick to your face piece. The escape bottle is to where if the supplied air, everything went wrong, then we got to worry about getting out. Then we can either, depending upon what type of supplied air system you have, it will automatically kick on, or you may have to turn it on, okay? So you guys run Scots, and I believe Scots are the kind that you actually physically, manually have to turn that on once you have a problem with your air. In that airline, we're looking at around 300 feet. We'll get into that a little bit later, but the reason we're saying at 300 feet is that's a NIOSH recommendation. That's what we're going to say. Hey, that's as far as we're going to go with that.